You okay, mate? That punk put a hole in my Versace. Welcome to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, current and ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends, take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question. Should or shouldn't you watch this? Expect the impossible again.
Incredible, unbelievable, unimaginable. This summer,
Sure you want me to do this?
take the mission again. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible 2, rated PG-13, now playing.
Joining me today is reoccurring guest Dan Sacklunch. Welcome back, my man.
Dude, do you think that there's anybody else we both agree that I was the last person on the face of the planet to watch MI1. But do you think there's anybody else that exists that hasn't watched MI2? Or am I still the last?
No, I think you're a select few that has not seen it because the reason we'll get into it with the numbers this week, but yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. At least I got a couple.
Yeah, exactly. So, as you know, we are continuing on our mission to watch for the first time for Dan and a rewatch for me the entire Mission Impossible movie series and record our 12 podcasts to prove it. Will we derail with this one? Or will we be able to continue the mission? Find out this week and next week as we break down Mission Impossible 2 from the year 2000. The description for this one: IMF agent Ethan Hunt is sent to Sydney to find and destroy a genetically modified disease called Chimera. Directed by John Woo, director of such films as Why Ji Shi Dai, Jing Shong Wai Lei, and Face Off.
Wow.
By the looks of his filmography, I think he's done with Hollywood films because it's a lot of the aforementioned titles. So I think he got soured.
Is he really?
Yeah, I think he just got soured with the whole Hollywood thing.
I can't say I blame him, but he was a pretty talented director by all accounts.
Yeah, I mean, I love Face Off. And that's the reason why he got this job, was because of Face Off. So,
yeah.
Top billed stars: Tom Cruise, of course, Doug Ray Scott, Thandie Newton, Ving Rhames, Brendan Gleeson, who is up for an Academy Award this year for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Sir Anthony Hopkins, which was... I forgot about that. It was a really big surprise for me when I was like, whoa.
It was surprising to me as well. It feels like they were trying to get somebody to stick, like a big name to stick. I don't know what other ones he's in, but maybe he stuck around. I don't know.
Well, I won't spoil it for you, but I do feel like they try, I would say, every movie to get somebody like that or other types of people that are pretty big at the time or whatever, or just big in and of themselves. But yeah, he was one of them for sure. Runtime of 2 hours and 3 minutes, the longest Mission Impossible thus far. We're only 2 in. Rated PG-13. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says action adventure, and IMDb says action adventure thriller, which seems to be a theme because it's the same as the last one. I think we both agreed that it's okay. Thriller is okay.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's thrilling. Yeah.
Speaking of IMDb, the rating is 6.1 out of 10, the lowest of the two so far, from 448,000 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gives this a 56% from 154 critics and 42% from 250,000 audience ratings.
Do you know which one is the lowest rated?
I mean, do you want me to tell you right now?
I do, actually.
This is the lowest. This is the lowest of all of them.
Of all of them? Okay.
By a lot, if that makes you feel any better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's low. It's low. This is the lowest. I mean,
It's a little surprising to me.
All we've got is up from here.
Okay.
And I'm really excited to hear what you think about this because I've had another one of those change of heart things with regard to not in the...
Because you weren't high on MI2.
No. Neither like Top Gun. I wasn't really high on it, but I came around a little bit. I still don't like it, but this one, I'm interested to see what you think of it because I've seen it a few times, definitely not as many as the other 5 films, but
I had a lot of reservations coming into this.
Okay, so you kind of knew that it was not well liked.
No, I think it wasn't that because I remember you mentioned that in the last pod. But I think for me it was the fear of just it was going to become very redundant, and it's like how can you possibly have 8 of these? Soon to be 8 of these.
Yeah,
right.
Be
so
8. Yes.
Yeah, I think that is the fear. Probably will be the same fear going into every single one.
Okay. Well, I hope you'll be wrong, but we'll see. This is good. This is really cool. At the time of this recording, you can stream this on Paramount Plus or rent or purchase this from your preferred purveyor of digital media. If you choose the highest tier of our Patreon account, you'll have access to the Popcorn Priest permanent collection. Go to patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. This brings us to, I think your favorite part of the pod is Popcorn Reviews the Reviews. And
I love it.
As always, I and my team of crack researchers select 2 to 3 1 out of 10 reviews from normal people, and then 2 to 3 10 out of 10s. And we just kind of really make fun of them is what we do. But
yes.
Would you like the stinkers or the 10 of 10s?
The last time we went with the 10 of 10s first. So let's start with the stinkers. But before you jump into it,
okay.
Was when you came up with this segment,
yes,
was the thought like, hey, we're going to crack some jokes at it? Or was it more like, wow, I'm really interested to see what people actually thought of this?
Well, initially, that's a really good question, and I'm glad you brought that up. Here's the real reason. You're right. I was like, you know what? I kind of want to see what other people are saying about these movies that I'm reviewing.
Sure.
And if I was one of them, a couple years ago, what would I kind of want to compare. And then after reading some of them, I'm just like, oh my goodness.
It's hard not to just go straight at them.
Yeah,
I can't contain myself.
Yeah, it's become one of the most fun things for me to do is read other people's reviews. So that's why.
For sure.
And of course, I cherry pick them, so we get the best of the best, and it's just a fun.
And we appreciate that of you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. All right, number 1. These are the stinkers. I blame John Woo for this one, says Barry T. Womi, number 1. Barry says, well, this was a pretty poor excuse for a movie. I liked the first and third, but the second one was awful. You would know John Woo was involved by the inclusion of doves flying through the underground layer shortly after an explosion. I just don't get the dove thing. 1 out of 10 stars.
I mean, he's not completely wrong.
No, he's not.
I didn't understand the dove thing.
It's I watched this with my wife. I don't know if your wife was able to stick with this one, but my wife was like, there's a lot of slow motion in this film.
Now that you say that, I like it, you started to say there's a lot of, and for some reason my mind went straight to slow-mo.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's exactly what she said. All right, here's number 2.
Yeah, I would agree with her. Okay.
Oslerer says, what a waste of my time. This movie was so terrible. I only stayed to watch it because I needed a ride home with the other people I was with. I must say that the scene in the beginning was enough to make my palms sweat while sitting there. Since I'm an avid rock climber, I could relate to the situation well. However, the scene was ruined when he made the impossible jump from ledge to ledge. Unless Ethan has gecko hands, he would never have held on. This was prelude to the rest of the movie where I saw uncountable numbers of completely, all caps, unrealistic things happening, ranging from technical impossibilities to the laws of physics being belligerently ignored. If a movie is going to capture an audience, it has to make the image that it could happen. And this was not the case with MI2. 1 out of 10 stars.
First of all Slayer does not value his own time because he doesn't even have a car to get to his mother's basement. He had to rely on other people.
Correct.
Okay. And I'm sorry, but anybody who equates themselves to rock climbing where Tom Cruise did, and I guarantee everybody in our state when they saw that, everybody, I guarantee there was a murmur in the theaters in Utah when that scene came up because we know that's in Utah, right?
Yeah, correct.
So, come on, let's be real here.
And the thing,
you're not.
I would say almost all movies, unless they're a documentary, and even that, and some of those would be included. You have to. Of
course, they're going to defy reality.
Yes, you have to suspend a little bit of relief what was I going to say? Belief. Yeah, the word belief. Suspend belief to get through some movies. Like, come on, they're movies. It's for entertainment.
Plot lines and right. I don't these are the types of people that can live everybody else's lives perfectly.
Yeah,
because it's very easy.
Yeah,
but they can't live their own.
All right, here. This one's
an avid rock climber.
This one's the best. I saved the best crap for last. Jesus Cruise Superstar says I Davies 2. I finally saw this on TNT, and I'm
yes.
Come on, man. And I'm surprised none of the reviews I've read picked up on what I did when I saw the rock climbing bit. Tom Cruise isn't Ethan Hunt. He's Jesus Christ, complete with his own Judas, Mary Magdalene, and white doves. After you stop laughing, which we are, remember how Tommy moves from one rock piece to the other? He does an inverted swing so that he winds up as though he were being crucified.
Wow.
The Redeemer as narcissistic pinhead who wants to be Chow Yun Fat when he grows up. The less said about this so-called movie, the better. Everyone involved, especially John Woo, if this crap isn't proof that he has sold his soul to the devil, I don't know what is. And Jesus Cruise Superstar ought to be ashamed of themselves. Stay away. Stay far away. 1 out of 10 stars.
I want to see these last two guys review something like Avatar, where the whole thing is you've got to suspend belief. Or, are they going to criticize every single scene?
Yeah, there's no way blue alien people can exist with those kind of tails. This is ridiculous.
You're not going to connect to a flying dragon from your tail to their ear. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But why the rock climbing scene of all the things? I like the first guy that had a problem with the doves, but these last two cats that just couldn't handle the rock climbing.
I know, and that's why I pulled them out, because I kept seeing a theme that everyone was hating on that. I liked it. I thought it was awesome.
You want to know and this is for the listeners, this is an inside joke reference here, but I picture both of those guys in the theater while they're watching the rock climbing scene, and he does one of those moves, and I just hear them in the theater go, "Ah, jeez."
Ah, jeez. Yeah.
Ah, jeez.
I'm going to get some more popcorn.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's great. Well, that dovetails right into our 10 out of 10s. I have 3.
Let's get them.
Clunk. The sound of me checking my brain at the door, says Kaiser 42. See, that's what I'm trying to say. This guy's got it.
He's got it, bro.
Kaiser says, why is it that people expect this movie to answer some deep philosophical conflict that plagues humankind? If you go, If you go in there expecting American Beauty, you'll be dully disappointed. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. The action was good. Woo is God. But yes, he still has failed to live up to his Hong Kong expectations thus far, but he's getting pretty dang close. 10 out of 10.
Amen, Kaiser. Amen.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. The dude is probably jacked, wears a tank top and a fanny pack, and I'm with it, bro.
Exactly, dude.
I am so with it, bro.
And whenever he walks by a window that's kind of got a little bit of a reflection, he's looking over and flexing just a little bit.
Yeah, and he might shake his little curly mullet. Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah. So, okay. Sorry, I lied. There's only two 10 out of 10s, but that was the first one.
I'll take them.
It's really good. All right. This one says, and I'm not really sure what the title is, but it says, great film if you like the gender. What does that mean? Great film if you like the gender.
Oh, maybe you misspelled genre.
A new gender. We've created a new gender.
So clearly this one's going to be a very educated view.
Correct.
It's going to be deep. I guarantee it.
Great film if you like the gender, says Juwari S. I believe this film is great if you're on the mood. If you're on the mood of watching an action movie. With the thriller of spying and the romance of a love story. This is hard to read. Almost all the required elements to make this a box office success. Some detractors argue about the excessive use of slow motion, which was a Is this your wife? Could be.
I swear she spells better.
Which was a resource used by John Woo to emphasize the action scenes and also to help Mr. Cruise a bit with his kicking abilities. If you like the action gender, oh, there we go. We figured it out. If you like the action gender, you'll love this movie from top to bottom. If you don't, you'll also enjoy it. 10 out of 10.
Can I just confirm that he...
Oh, it's freaking Siri's trying to get in on the action here.
Wait, was that really Siri?
Yeah.
I thought that was a soundbite you just dropped. You better leave that in.
No, it was my freaking watch. My Apple Watch.
That was absolutely perfect because it was like, I'm not sure I understand. I'm not either because he misspelled genre twice.
Gender.
Why?
I love it. I love the fact that he says, or she, you will love this movie from top to bottom. If you don't, you'll also enjoy it. I don't know what that means, but it's provocative.
Well done.
Well,
good, man.
Those are
really good.
Those were our popcorn reviews, the reviews. And let's get into should you watch this? Well, that was loud AF. Sorry. 5 reasons why you should watch MI2. Number 1, if you like Tom Cruise, then this is for you.
For sure.
Number 2, if you like James Bond movies, this is for you. This is different from last week because I think this is more of a James Bond type flick than the last movie.
I gotta be honest. I left it thinking, man, this is not James Bond, but I felt that in a good way because I'm not a big Bond fan.
Yeah, I just felt like there was some Bond-esque things going on, more so than in the last one. It's still a spy movie, but more Bondy, it seemed a little bit to me.
Yeah, probably. So.
Number 3, if you prefer movies that slow things way down, like slow motion slow, then this is for you.
Yeah.
And number 4, if you have ever asked the question, why can't I see some motorcycle bike fighting in movies these days? Then should be on the top of the list.
The thought has often never crossed my mind, but sure.
Yeah, that's number 4. And last but not least, if you feel like there are not enough slow motion white doves flying in films, then this is for you also.
This is all the way for you.
Any other reasons to watch MI2? Since you're the Virgin.
I've got to say, what is her name? Thandie Newton?
Thandie Newton. Mm-hmm.
Like, is there a woman alive that is easier to fall in love with than that woman?
I mean, she seems like the sweetest lady ever.
Yeah, bro. Like, she would be down for her man. Like, and I don't know what it is about her.
She's not like, I mean, she's extremely beautiful, but she's not like, I don't know. I hate to say, she's not like
not
a 10.
Aggressively beautiful.
Yeah. Like she's a 9.8, 9.5 or something. So it helps, I think. Or maybe just a solid 9. Yeah.
There's just something about her that it does. Like, I've seen her in so many movies. I can't remember the one with Ben Affleck, the old school mobster movie, but she was in that. And she was same thing.
Yeah, I really like her. I wish she was in more stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, agreed.
That's a good reason. Thandie Newton is just a reason.
Yeah, if my wife hears these podcasts, because it seems like I'm always adding the female part into the reasons why.
I need more vixens, is what you say.
I mean, yeah. No, I think honestly, we've said this a lot about a lot of different movies, but I don't know how you can't go into this and not be entertained. So yeah, I think it's a popcorn type flick.
Love it. Let's get into by the numbers.
Blank. For God's sake, just give me the damn number.
All right. Box office haul. What do you think the budget is? Because you get everything right all the time, it seems.
I think I'm going to be off on this one. I would probably say, gosh, man, 2000. I mean, the budgets were starting to climb up there. Mm-hmm. Probably 108.
That's good. That's a good guess. 120 million, which is astronomical to me. It seems
that is so much. Yeah.
Guess what the box office haul was for worldwide?
Boy, I would have to say I mean, I have to take into account that it seems not very well received. So I would say 370.
This is why it's so puzzling. I should put this in puzzles next week because it wasn't well received, but I think people were clamoring for more because the first one was so awesome. This made $549 million, bro. $500 million. And 215 of that was domestic, so United States only. That's astronomical.
If I didn't know that it got bad, if I would have just watched it and then you asked me that, I could see it.
Yeah, and I
think I'm probably going to surprise you on how I feel about this.
And I feel really bad saying that, like, oh, we got to power through number 2 to get to number 3 and beyond, but I probably shouldn't have said that. I apologize.
No, hey, the bar was set low, but I think I'm going to surprise you a lot with my take on this.
Well, I wanted to paint a picture with the box office haul. So I'm starting to like this more because I've done it a couple times, but I picked the top 5 highest grossing movies of 2000. Guess where this lands or doesn't even land. Maybe it's not on the top 5. Where do you think it lands?
2000. So that would have been.
I'll give you a hint. It's in the top 5. I'll give you a hint.
I'd probably put it 3. Yeah, I'd probably put it number 3.
It's number 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Guess what beat it out? Number 1 was
Fast and the Furious?
No. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
What?
This is domestic, okay? $253 million. Mission Impossible is number 2 at 215. And then listen to these next 3. Number 3 is Gladiator. Number 4 is The Perfect Storm. And then 5 is Meet the Parents.
I got to be honest. I like all 5 of those.
Oh, man.
I can't put the Grinch at that type of number, but at the same time, I am thoroughly entertained by that movie every time I watch it, and I've probably watched it 30 times.
I mean, when it's on, when they're like kids are watching it, I'm like, I'm glad I'm watching this. This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Meet the Parents.
And the rest of those.
Like, I can't believe that made 161 million. It was number 5.
And we always talk about how the funny movies don't reach that type of prowess.
Well, and we don't get enough of these. We don't get enough comedies anymore. There's no more comedies.
Yeah.
All right, here's some more numbers. Because of his huge back-end deals, Tom Cruise was forced to pay for the production overruns out of his own pocket. And I don't know what that number was, but I'm sure he didn't care because he was going to get a percentage of the profits.
So wait a minute. Did he say how much?
No, but I bet he made $50 to $100 million. Oh wait, no, I have it right here. With his percentage deal on profits, royalties, and merchandise, it is said that Tom Cruise was paid the unprecedented sum of $75 million for his work on the movie.
How say it again? 75?
$75 million of that $550 million.
That's a big chunk, brother.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of that he had to pay, because the production went over, but even still, unbelievable. I think his normal rate back then in 2000 was 20 million, so killed it.
Good for him.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I've got 3 more amazing numbers, and then we'll just talk about our general review of the film. So director John Woo's first cut of this movie clocked in at 3.5 hours.
Oof.
Paramount Pictures balked at this length and told him that the final length could not exceed 2 hours. This would explain why there are so many plot holes and continuity errors in the theatrical cut. And dude, I looked this up. There's a post on Reddit that said it has the hashtag of release the pigeon cut. The next guy says, I heard all he did was remove 90 minutes of slow-mo and put it back to regular speed. That's incredible. That's why it was 3.5 hours. But can you imagine? Like, I did feel like there was some weird cuts. I'm like, oh, what just happened?
You have to admit, though, every time you did, you're like, it's John Woo.
Yeah, I wasn't hating it. I did. There was some continuity issues, but it didn't take me out of the movie at all.
Yeah.
So here's another tidbit about that 3.5 hour cut. So in the early 2000s, there was a 163 minute long work print of the film available in some bootleg circles, sourced from stolen VHS copies. It was much closer to John Woo's original 3.5 hour cut, and it had a lot of extended and deleted scenes, including the uncut action and violence, which was cut from the film to give it a PG-13 rating. However, ever since then, no copy of the work print has ever been found. I kind of want to watch it.
Somebody's got to have it.
I didn't get too far in the rabbit hole, but it's got to be somewhere. Someone's got to have it.
Yeah, like somebody's going to end up with that sucker at a garage sale or something, like an estate sale.
Yeah, an estate sale. Maybe John Woo just left everything, and when he went back to Asia, he's like, "I'm just keep everything. I don't want anything."
Probably, like if he really bailed on Hollywood.
I think so. It seems when I look at his IMDb, his filmography, it's a lot of Asian films now. All right, my last number is body count. I have two conflicting numbers from two different sites. What do you think the body count is?
It's not high, so I'd probably put it at 26.
No, you're way off. But
what?
But I think both of these numbers include the plane crash. So you've got a whole plane full of people dying. So you're probably right with regard to the death, like kills. So here this isn't spoilery. I guess I did spoil the plane crash. I apologize. But so one site I said was 101, and then another site said 108. And then Cruise himself had 29 of those 100.
Yeah, see, Cruise and myself are not counting the airplane because to be completely honest with you, if you were to actually count that airplane, then it would probably be well over 200.
I mean, I didn't get a really good close look at the seating chart, but yeah, they're probably and how full the plane was, but yeah, I don't know how they get those
I mean,
numbers.
it's a commercial airliner coming from Australia. It's going to be full.
It's going to be full, yeah. I don't know.
But can you count that as body count? Do they always count that as body count?
I mean, technically, it's on screen because the plane explodes and we see it, ignite. So technically, you can count that. It's not off screen, so yeah. It's in by the numbers. It's a number, all right? Without giving our final review, which we'll save for next week. What do you say?
I really liked it.
Wow. That's cool, man. Cuz this is how I went into it. I was like, "Oh, I know this wasn't well received. I know it's the lowest of all of them. I don't purposely watch. I don't go out to watch it all the time. I usually skip it if I'm watching them. But I was also pleasantly surprised, and I loved the slow motion, man. I thought it was so awesome.
I was down for the dubs, homie. Like, I was all the way in, bro. I like this better than the first one. I wasn't sure.
Whoa!
As I was watching it, straight up, as I was watching it, I was like, man, he must have said MI3 was the tough one to watch, and you got to get through that one because this one's killer. Yeah,
that's cool. Well, I that's good news for you because, man, I love that. I'm loving the what's coming up.
Okay. See, and again, I went into this going, man, if this is going to turn into Bond, because Bond is so boring. So,
but what made this not Bond?
Take.
Why was this didn't feel like Bond to you? Like, what reasons can you give? Because of the slow mo or what?
This is clearly going to be a hot take, but I think Bond is so boring, dude.
No,
they're all so boring.
The new ones are dope, dude.
Like Casino Royale, like watching that poker scene, it was just painful.
Man. People don't like you now.
Well, nor should they, but still.
Casino Royale is so dope, dude. It's so good. Man. It is so good. I'm sorry.
It's watchable. Like, there's no doubt it's watchable.
So you like Mission Impossible 2 over Casino Royale?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, nice. That's crazy.
For sure.
I did not expect this. I thought you were going to take huge dumps on this film.
No, I thought I would too, but clearly I need to get a tank top and a fanny pack because I am.
But like what? Without giving any spoilers, because we're about ready to end this week's show. But like, what things made this so cool to you?
Okay, obviously I'm biased with Tom Cruise, and Daniel Craig's okay, but I mean, as far as him being a Bond, he's amazing. I really like him as James Bond.
No, I'm not talking about James Bond. I'm talking about Mission Impossible 2. Like, why is this? Why did it resonate with you? I'm curious. Like, can you pinpoint a couple of things?
Okay, this is probably, man, I've had so many like amazing time periods in my life, and this just must have been one of them.
Okay.
Like 19, 20 years old, just living free. But like the soundtrack is super 2000.
It is. It's very dated.
Yeah, but I love it, dude. I Tom Cruise. They had the love story in there, which they didn't really have in the first one. The first one, whatever that love interest was awkward and it just didn't.
Yeah, it was super awkward.
And the first one, it seemed like Tom Cruise was trying too hard to be a super agent, where this one, he was all in, dude. He was all about that life. So,
dude, and did you want those Oakley glasses? I wanted them so bad when this came out.
those were definitely dope,
man.
dude. I would sport them even now. But do you know what I'm saying? Like in the first one, he wasn't like he was trying to be that. He was trying to be about that life.
Okay.
But this one, that life,
He kind
doesn't even know how
of,
to
you're saying
handle this
he let loose a little more and became his own version of Ethan Hunt that maybe,
yeah, dude.
yeah, okay. All right.
Yep. I was with it.
All right.
And this was also like I think this was one of the first times that Tom Cruise ever grew his hair out that long for a movie.
The other one that I love quite a bit that he has long hair like this is The Last Samurai.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he needs to have long hair. It's very nice. But this is coming from a bald. I'm a bald, so I don't have hair.
I'm headed there.
So when I see guys with hair like that, I'm like, I love you. I love you, man. You got it.
Let me touch your hair.
Can I see it? Get in this light over here. Oh, that's beautiful.
Can I just smell it? I'll just smell it.
Here, let me comb it a little bit. Oh, it's nice. It's real nice.
Yeah. So I don't know what it was, but and remember that I tried to watch this after a long night with my 2-year-old, and I fell asleep after the first 15 minutes.
Okay.
And so
You had to come back. Did you rewatch the first 15 minutes?
I did not, because to be honest with you, the first 15 minutes were painful. And I was like, son of a gun, man, this is brutal. And then all of a sudden, I came back this morning watching it, and I was hook, line, sink, man. Like, I want to watch it again. That's how much I like it.
That's cool. That's really cool. Well, there you have it from a noob, a Mission Impossible noob. Well, we'll have to come back next week and give our full rating and some beefs and some puzzles that I've got. I've got some good ones. So join us next week. There will be spoilers up ahead. So if you want to watch and come back and join us for a breakdown of Mission Impossible 2. I'm on the social medias. I dare you to message the great Popcorn Priest at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels at the priest. By visiting patreon.com/Popcorn Priest and see what extra perks you can enjoy. Lastly, the easiest way to support the show and the most free is like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Easier than starting your car. Easier than putting on your cool 90s/2000 Oakleys. And as always, thanks for listening. And thanks to my special guest, Mr. Dan Sacklunch himself. Always a pleasure, my man.
Absolutely. We'll see y'all next week.
Join us next week for part 2 of Mission: Impossible 2. We'll see you then.